Think back to a time when somebody was randomly kind to you. What were the emotions that you felt in the moment? Did you want to reciprocate the kindness? Now think of a time when someone did something wrong to you. And how did that make you feel? Let's put someone on the spot here. Mr. Grant, you know, you're head of the school, big guy and all. What do you think? Like, which scenario do you prefer? Okay. Okay, that's amazing. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, let's see what everyone else here thinks. Raise your hand if you prefer scenario number 1. Okay. And raise your hand if you prefer the second scenario. Bingo. Almost all of us here prefer the first scenario. So, with that, obviously the first option was the right way to go. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shreya, and I've been a student here at Appleby College for the last 6 years. During this time, I've learned firsthand how our busy schedules can consume all of our time and energy. Rushing from classes to clubs to co-curriculars, and of course, tackling Mr. Hayes' impossible accounting tests. During our daily schedules, it is so easy to get caught up in our own little worlds. But here's the thing. During all of this chaos, I've discovered that even the smallest acts of kindness can have an everlasting impression. Imagine the impact of a simple smile. Maybe even a genuine compliment. Or a small gesture. Each one of these can make a world of difference. I'd like to pull out my phone for a second and read you all a quick quote. Our words carry a lot of energy. Be thoughtful and always focus on using positive words. This will create a positive aura in your surrounding and make things work for you the way that you want them to. Have a fantastic Thursday. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, this is not me quoting Einstein or Maya Angelou or some other old guy that died ages ago. In fact, this is me quoting my very own dad who texted me at the ripe hour of 3:16 a.m. this morning. Thanks, Dad. I hope you're not asleep back there. To tell you the truth, when I first became a boarder here at Appleby, I found myself spending days feeling homesick. I was longing the familiar comforts of home, especially my bed and the traditional Indian foods that my mom would make. The transition from living at home with my family to now residing in a dorm was honestly challenging. I often felt as though I was drifting in a sea of unfamiliarity. Now, I could not imagine what it's like to be an international boarder, so I really do respect each one of you. Because if I feel this homesick living a 15-minute drive away from home, I have no idea what it would be like to live thousands and thousands of kilometers away. Through the overwhelming number of calls home, my parents began to notice how the difficulty that I was having to adjusting to this new way of living. So they started a very simple routine. Every morning, a WhatsApp message patiently awaited in my inbox hours before I woke up. And yes, of course it was a WhatsApp message, not iMessage, because that app is some sort of alien technology to our dads. These words were like the gentle rays that were warming my heart and brightening my day ahead. In just a few sentences, my dad had the power to uplift my spirit and start my day off with the positive energy that I have now grown so used to. As days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, I began to realize the impact of this small gesture. Because you know what? It wasn't about the words themselves. It was about the thoughtfulness and the love behind them. And that is what inspired me to pay the gesture forward. A little while into boarding, I used my role as deck captain to propose an idea to the Bailey House Council during our weekly Monday night meetings. The idea was to simply start sending morning messages of sunshine to our deck group chats. And although there were some interesting messages from some interesting people at first, not to mention the fluffy rainbow unicorn memes, we still managed to uplift each other's spirits every single day. In the grand tapestry of our deck's energy and aura, I found myself surrounded by the exact same love and warmth that my dad's messages conveyed to me. But here's the thing. Kindness isn't just a feel-good concept. It's deeply rooted in the neuroscience, or what I like to call brain happiness. When we engage in acts of kindness, such as helping others or showing empathy to others, our brain releases these neurotransmitters like dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These chemical messengers transmit signals between the neurons in the brain and the nervous system. This is exactly what further influences various psychological and physiological processes. Research has actually shown that practicing kindness can have significant benefits on our mental health and our well-being. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who engage in these acts of kindness experience greater levels of happiness, reduced stress, and improved overall life satisfaction. And I mean, why wouldn't we want to be happier, have reduced stress, and a greater satisfaction with life? It really is that easy. Realistically, people spend millions and millions of dollars trying to find their happiness. They go on vacations, buy purses, cars, shoes, or maybe even services that'll make their life easier. But what if I told you that you could achieve greater and more genuine levels of happiness without spending a single dime? The key to happiness is in fact just one simple thing, an act of kindness, and that's it. Moreover, kindness not only has individual benefits, but also has the power to positively affect entire communities. When we exhibit kindness to others, it enriches their well-being, but also encourages them to reciprocate the kindness in return. This is exactly what starts a ripple effect of compassion and joy. Let's imagine this, a plant in which kindness serves as the fertile soil where compassion and joy can flourish. Like a seed that's placed in the nurturing soil, acts of kindness also have the potential to grow into something far greater than their initial gesture. In my example, my dad's messages were the initial seed in the gesture. Experiencing the impact of these messages is exactly what inspired me to extend the same kindness onto others, creating that exact ripple effect that deepened the connection among the Bailey House boarders. So with that, I encourage you all to recognize the importance of kindness and make a conscious effort to incorporate it into your daily routine. In our efforts to spread kindness, however, we cannot neglect ourselves. Think of a cup. It must be filled before it can overflow and nourish others. In the same way, we must prioritize our own well-being. Self-compassion is not selfish. Let me say that again. Self-compassion is not selfish. It is a necessary foundation for extending support to others. By nurturing ourselves emotionally, mentally, and physically, we enhance our capacity for compassion to others. So, let's remember the transformative power of kindness. Whether it's a small or grand gesture, Each act and each intention have the potential to make a difference. I challenge you to extend your hand out to others, but don't forget to hold your own hand first. Together, we can create a world where kindness is not just a choice, but a way of life. I'd now like to share with you some easy ways that you can make kindness your way of life. Of course, there's the simple yet effective ways like holding the door open for someone or just giving a reassuring smile as you walk by a stranger. But how can we take these acts of kindness to a deeper and more meaningful level? Perhaps reach out to a friend who's having a hard time. Or maybe even sit with someone who seems lonely in the dining hall. And of course, there's the acts of kindness that are a little less obvious, but just as important. For example, thanking your parents for everything that they do for you every single day. Maybe even helping around the house. And most importantly, recognizing and thanking the people that support and impact your life every single day. But don't get me wrong. Kindness could also mean sending memes of fluffy unicorns or giving easier accounting tests. Well, that's my version of kindness, and I'd love to hear yours. Would anyone like to raise their hand and share some examples of kindness to them? Yeah. That's amazing. So Judy said, taking the time to listen to your friends. Anybody else? Yeah. That's amazing. It's so important to bring people up, not only yourself, but the people around you too. Anybody else? Yeah, maybe? Of course. The Sodexo team does so much for us, and we should definitely thank and support them as well. So thank you so much for your participation and listening today. These were some really, really great ideas. But here's the thing. Let me tell you the best, most life-changing act of kindness that you could do in this very moment. And that is to give me the biggest round of applause and join me in singing hymn number 460. Thank you.